I've been building cars for over 20 years and worked alongside many badasses, including legends and Hall of Famers. I'm sharing what I've learned. I'm Alan Banuelos. Welcome to School of Bad. Okay, now that the front bumper is about 90, I would say 95% done, I still have to, you know, do a couple of trim, finish the welding, regrind it back down. Anyways, now it's time to start the rear. Back here, before I start this, both of my panels are beat on both sides. It must have been rear-ended at one time, and now that we're gonna do this bumper, I want to suck it in as far as I can, but I don't want to suck it in too far, so gotta beat this stuff out. This panel has been hit so hard that it's pushed in, quite a bit. What I'm doing here is heating the crown around the dent, and I'm trying to hope that I can push the panel out where it's supposed to be. There it goes, bang, bang, bang. And I got nowhere. Man, this stuff is thick. So here's the passenger side. Came out very nice. Happy. And then this side, oh, nope. I was pounding on it and it started to split. You can see there. So next option. So here's what I'm thinking. Since it's too hard to hit and it's already separating from the weld, I'm just gonna simply mark it and cut. I'll cut it and then I'll beat it straight or something like that. I might go a little higher. Let me see. If I do, it won't be too much higher. No, that's good. Alright, so I don't think I need to make any marks. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm no use to having eye protection if I'm not protecting my eyes. Things beat. Almost. We're almost there, Captain. There it is, not bad. So I tried to clean both sides. I used, a little red cookie. I don't know where it is. And now, next step, I'm gonna clean it with a little bit of wax and grease remover just to get my fingerprints off of it. Which we know I don't have any fingerprints on it. And then there's a little bit of rust back here that I'm still trying to clean off. And I'm doing this while it's off. I need to put it back on and not cleaned any of this. This is good old Gems. And as you know, Gems is a metal conditioner. This one I think we can wipe down. So leaves like a film on there and you just want it to dry. can leave it in sheet metal for quite a bit, especially out here where I'm at, West Texas. Dry, super dry. I'll let it sit there, and as it sits here, it'll just be eating up this rust. It'll get cleaner. Same here, you see it. And I'll do the same to the bedside, and we'll get ready to weld this thing back on. It's not bad. This is all ripped, so I have to weld it. No big deal. So here's the red Scotch-Brite, and I'm going to use it to clean this up. You can use the wire wheel, you can use that surface reconditioner from Harbor Freight, works great also. I'm going to use this because I'm going to gem it. After I get done cleaning this, I'm going to metal prep this for the install. I'm going to drill my holes here because I have to spot weld this panel to the bedside panel, and I don't want to be struggling trying to figure out how I'm going to get a weld in there. So I'll drill it now, and when I clamp it, I'll just weld it from the back side, and that'll keep me on. So I think that'll be great. I think that's the best way to do it, and it'll look a little bit factory-ish. Yeah, I like it. Let's do it. Okay, and now that I've got it cleaned up, it's pretty dry already. I'm going to go ahead and pre-drill my hose so I can spot weld it. Here I'll probably put 2 because it's the very end, and most commonly they come loose. 1 here, you can see where they cut the tabs out to bend it, and then I'll do maybe 3 or 4 here. So no overkill, just don't want it to move. Start off with the 1/8 inch all the time. You don't have to measure. As you see, I'm using my finger to space them out. Gives me decent spacing. I'm happy with. And then I'll come back. I think it's a 5/16. And there it is. So now it's ready. I'll set my other piece on there. I'll clamp it in from the inside, make sure it's solid, all lined up here. I'll use my magnets to help me hold it in place. And if it looks good, we'll start tacking. If we have to shave more off, we'll shave more off, whatever it takes. All we know is that this piece is going back on. So here's my piece. Now I just have to clamp it. Now's the time. If you see anything you don't like, chances are after this, you're not going to have that chance anymore. So I'm just going to hold it kind of where I want it. There it is. Welder on. Oh, it's on my head. A little tack there. And I'll pull this out a little bit. Get this where it's supposed to be flush here. Then I'm going to tack it again. I'll give it a little spacing, about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch from that weld. So remember, you are controlling it the entire time. You're never going to let it do what it wants to do. You're going to be in 100% control of the wheel. Let that pull down a little bit. A couple love taps to remind it that it's got a friend, whether it likes it or not. So you guys get the gist of it. Now that it's on, I'm seeing that this is out, so I need to tap it in. This will all come out. It's got like a ball right here. This is kind of flat, so I need to flatten this with the bedside. As I use that as a guide. Probably tap this all the way around. Yeah, I know. loving it. I'm loving it. Oops, went in a little too much. Golly. There we go. Perfect. I really won't tap until I get the inside ones either clamped or welded in. And then I think I can fix all this metal. Definitely not going to cut it off again. And look at that, back exactly where we started, which was the main thing. Earlier, this corner was way over here, and I knew something was wrong. It was just too sunken in, and I needed to pull it out. So that's why I went with this method instead of the normal way of doing it and just clamping it in place. Let it warm, shape it the way I want. So that's what my world looks like back here. You see my 2 spot welds. After I tagged them and then I hammered it down just to make sure that it sits flat. So I'm gonna do a couple more while I'm down here and then move back to the other side. I don't know if you can see that, but so I'll hit the hole above the first clamp and then in between both clamps and then right below that one, and that's called knocking out 3 birds with 1 stone. Where's my helmet? Alright, there it is. So tacked in, I've kept it straight. Next, I'm gonna let it cool down all the way. Once it cools down all the way, and then I will grind this, and then we can put the bumper on, which is what I'm super excited for, because I know it's gonna match the front, and we put so much work into the front. I just need the rear to look kosher. Not good. Not good. Now to take care of these. Okay, looking at it right here, I mean, it's just got a 90, it's got like a 1/2 inch lip down here. So I'm just gonna cut a simple little square with a little bend in it. I'll make 2 of the exact same pieces and draw it out, cut it out, tack it in. So that is the plan of attack. Okay, here I got an 18 gauge piece of steel. It's got a little bit of surface rust on it. So I'm gonna show y'all how gems works. I talk about it all the time, but y'all just have to see for yourselves, okay? You spray it on. I like to scuff it because that's just what I do. You don't have to be like me. And what I mean when I scuff it, like, look what happens. You know what I mean? Like, high rust, by rust, and what I mean, surface rust for sure. This is surface rust. This is a fresh piece. But even like just letting it sit with just a paper towel, I use this one, and you see it go away. You know, it's just a matter of leaving it. Like I said, I still like using a scuff pad. I feel like it digs into it a little more, gives me a little cleaner product, and by rust. And now we have a fresh piece of sheet metal. And you can do this with all metals. As long as it's rusting, you can clean it. That's it. So now I'm just gonna let it dry. Okie doke, let me trim my pieces. Here's my pieces real quick. I'm gonna trim them real quick. Okay, so there it is. I'm pretty much centered up. The lip is exactly the same. So I'll mark that. I'll cut it out. I'll make sure to stay on the inside line, not to go into the black, into the Sharpie line. And I'll do the same over there. We'll tack it on and clean that up. Oh, one more thing. The gas tank is right here, so I might put my little curtain right here, so I definitely don't want any sparks going that direction. Okay, here we go. There's one, there's two. Bam, we're done. So now, slide our bumper on there, hold it in place, mark our hose, drill our hose, bolt it in, and basically look at the bumpers, see what we got to shave off, you know. It's gonna be a little bit of work, but not as much as the front. I'm hoping. The front was a ton of work, but we're 90% done.
What are you working on?
Trying to get this bumper tightened up. I loosened it so I could fit it in there, and close, and get it to where I wanted it. Once I got it where I wanted it, I'm clamping it down, tightening it up. It still looks good, and I'll mark my hose, drill me some hose, and this is my new spot. I mean, the way I started this was first put it on, shove it in, see what it does. It hit, we cut the rivet heads off, shoved it in more. It was hitting at the top, so we cut it, tried it again. It was still too far out, so we went back in, cut it again. Now it's perfect. You know, it's just a matter of trial and error until you like what you see. You know, you'll get that feeling, you'll know when it's there. It'll just be like, yep. So, really happy the way it looks. I love this gap, it's kind of big. It's smaller right here at the tailgate, but it doesn't hit, it keeps the same gap once the tailgate is down. It looks like it almost matches the body really good. I'm gonna have to heat it up like I did the front. Heat this up, it's all wrinkly. So, one, straighten it out. Two, bring it in more. The bottom, I'm gonna have to curve it, round it, because it's a little too square for me. I might splice it and then just bring it in. I'm not sure yet how I'm gonna do that, but we'll get there. Of course, I'll shave the buttons. Once the buttons are shaved, get rid of the, I guess this was the other trailer lights. Get rid of the decals. There it is.
Love it.
All right, so I'm gonna make me a template. That way I don't have to keep coming back and putting the bumper on here physically. I'll just make me a template of what this looks like. Hold your pen flat on the body and just follow it all the way down. And you'll have an exact shape. It's the right side, passenger side, so I'll put right here so I don't forget. Okay, so here's my template. I really wished I would have had the bumper on there when I did it, but just using the body, I think I can, get close. So that's how much it's got to be moved. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but once you start hitting on it and it doesn't move, yeah, it seems like a lot. So let me see if I can figure this out. It's going to take a little bit of geometry, but I got this. Yeah. So now what I'm thinking is heat this up, beat this down so it goes underneath this, and then put my dolly right here and start hammering at this to flatten it out. It looks to curve. Let me see. Oh snap! We might have it. That looks pretty good. I'll have to trim some of that. Alright. So there we are. After test fitting, it looked pretty good. So I'm gonna tack it just so we can try it again. And the bottom or the top of the bumper, which is down here, I've got to bring it out some. But the rest matches the bedside. Okay, so we can see that this thing here fits all the way around. Very nice. So I grinded it with a 3-inch. Now I'll just take a 5. Love it. Okay, so next. Gotta shave these buttons, plug this hole. Alright. So here it is. What I'm gonna do is cut the head off right above the square, and then I'll put the nut back on, hold it from behind, and weld the front. Sweet. There it is. I'll cut that out. I'll plug this hole, weld it in. Trimmed it down some more. Straightened out. This one is straight all the way. And this one I had to trim off a whole corner because it was not matching the other side. So trimmed it down, and now a little bit of detail here. Hammer and dolly, just try to get it straight. And then put it on for the third final time. This one's a charm. It's gonna go.
Third time is a charm.
Third time is a charm. You have to get that, you have to put it on and be like, man, that looks great. And I just haven't felt it yet, so I think this is gonna be it. Because what threw me off was this side would hit, and I couldn't figure out why I was hitting. And this side I couldn't get it close enough because it was hitting here. But now I realize that this side was way off. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit, get it ready to reinstall. Fix this little hump right here, just make it flow a little better. Okay, Now, time for a little detail work. It's a little rough. Got a couple little dents right here where I welded the bolts in. It kind of went down a little bit, so I'm gonna bring it back out smooth. Got a low spot here, kind of big. It looks like maybe got bumped into. Gotta hit it and heat it out. Here again, where I welded my thing. Yeah, time for some detail work. So here's what it looks like. We're getting there. Yo. Okay, I'm making a front splitter for old Daisy. I have an idea what I want it to look like. Can I do it is the question. Of course I can do it. What I have so far, 32 inches and then a 1.5 inch lip. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out, fold this up, and we'll go from there. All right, here's my idea. So far, that's what I've got made. I've got to cut it a little shorter because I made it 73 inches long. And basically, it mimics this. And then I'll reverse it to the bottom. Oh man, it's gonna look great. As you can see, we're getting serious now. This thing is gonna be something like that. That's all I can say.
Like this show? Want more? Then head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.